I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's your boy Kings and Dreams. Thank you all for joining me on this Sunday on a special one-on-one interview. Got a great guest, friend of mine, friend of the channel, and I'm really excited to get into it. But before I get into it, you all know I've talked about this on so many different occasions. I talk about using the dating app known as Tinder in the country Colombia. It is buy at your own risk, so to speak. And speaking of risk, my guest who I'm going to bring on is going to talk about his own experience. And then another thing I want to get into in the conversation is there seems to be a bit of pessimism, if you will, in this travel community. And I want to talk about that as well. Has the black pill entered the traveling community? So those are two things that we are going to talk about. So before I bring my guest on, let me give a couple of quick shout outs. Mark Daniels Inspiration. Make sure that you guys check out his channel. This guy is a single father, 6 kids, holding it down in the Midwest in the United States, man. So he's doing his thing. Make sure that you check out his channel. Great channel. I think he's going live today, if I'm not mistaken. My man Ronan Travel says salute to the brothers in the chat. Yes, salute, man. Respect, brother. Absolutely, man. Yep, QB Passport flexing is here. I'm gonna bring him up in a minute. Brooklyn GQ. Hey, listen, for all of you guys who don't recall, my favorite rapper of all time passed away on March 9th, which was yesterday. So this is why I'm representing the Brooklyn. This is where I'm from. This is where he's from. So, you know, Brooklyn, where Brooklyn at, right? XL Pro was in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to Uncle Guns in the building, man. Respect. Uncle Guns be traveling everywhere, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. It's Jay Clyde, my guy. What's going on, man? I see you traveling everywhere, man. Jay Clyde got that knee surgery, got that knee back together, and he said, I'm out. Hey, I feel you, Jay Clyde. I feel you, man. Jay Clyde is outside for real. All right. Where's Men's Lux Magazine? Good morning. All right. So, not going to take too much of you guys' time. I am going to bring my guest on and get this thing started. My brother from another QB Passport flexing. What's the word, man?
What's good, Kings? Coming in loud and clear. Appreciate you hosting me on your platform, player.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. You know, but before we get started, man, you know, I see the new camera set up. I see the hair's coming in good, man. You know, you shining, man. That's what's up, man. God bless. Tell you, man. God bless, man.
Right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. So the first thing is, you know, how are you doing? How are you feeling, man?
Everything is good. I'm back to normal. Everything is you know, good with work, social life, you know, my main chick in Mexico. So right now, I honestly can't complain. Happy to be back on YouTube, live streaming, specifically on weekends, vlogging. So a lot of good stuff coming to the channel.
Absolutely, man. I see you doing your thing. You know, I popped in your chat last night for a bit, man. So see you doing your thing. All right, so let's get into it. And I want to kind of, you know, I want to bring it back to when you were in Ecuador. But before I do that, when traveling, is Tinder your go-to dating app to use to pipeline?
Yeah, Tinder and Bumble.
Okay.
I've been on Tinder probably about 5 years, and the
Okay.
experience has been very well. Besides that incident,
Right.
but I'm not one of those guys who travel who solely uses the dating app to meet women. I'm more of a bar, nightclub, social event, and using the dating app is kind of like a bonus for me.
Okay. So I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. So going to social events, bar, lounge, nightclub, etc., is where you prefer to meet women. So you're more of the face-to-face interaction. However, you will use Tinder kind of as a buffer, if you will.
Yeah, buffer. So a good example, when I went to Guayaquil, which is in Ecuador,
Hmm.
I had probably about 5 girls wanting to meet up on Tinder, but I get there like on a Monday. So, nightlife in that city specifically doesn't happen until the weekend. And so during the week, I can meet girls from the actual dating app. And then the weekend is the face to face interaction to meet local girls out in a, off the dating app type setting. So that's the advantage of having Tinder or Bumble when you're traveling trying to meet local girls.
Gotcha, gotcha. Completely understand. Okay, so in this particular unfortunate situation that happened to you, you ended up meeting these ladies on Tinder, correct?
Mhm. Correct.
Okay. All right. So when you decided to meet them, was it the same night or was it scheduled for the pre like a later date? Or was it kind of like, hey, what's up? You guys match and you guys met up like immediately?
So I matched with that girl specifically, I would say about a week before I got there.
Oh, okay.
And, I was communicating with her and other girls as well. And then when I arrived, I did a tour for an entire day in Quito, Ecuador. And it wasn't until I got back to the Airbnb, I was basically messaging several girls, including her, to seeing who was available to meet up. And she responded. And, we met up at that bar.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So you're at the bar, and what continues to transpire from there? And I know that some people have heard the story, but for people who haven't heard the story, so you meet up with this girl at the bar. What continues to happen from there?
It seems like a normal date. We're having fun, drinking. She's getting to know me. I'm getting to know her. But the cousin is what, I question my motives. Like, hey, you and I are having a good time. What's her issue type of deal. And if I can go back in time, that would have been a red flag from the very beginning. The energy from the cousin.
Right. So okay, so let's circle back on the cousin. Right
Hmm.
now, when you decided to meet up with her at the bar, did she mention that she was bringing anyone with her, or did she
Yes.
just have? Okay, she did.
Hmm.
Okay, got it. All right, all right. Yeah. So I definitely a red flag. I did my reaction to your video with our guy Andrew, and I mentioned that in my reaction as that being a red flag.
Hmm.
um, Now you said that the energy of the cousin was off. So kind of get into that. What do you mean by that? Like her energy was off?
Right. So in the past, I've met girls on Tinder and even face to face. Sometimes they will want to bring the friend as their safety measure.
Right.
So going into this date, that's the mindset that I'm having with this girl. So it's not exactly, I would say, a red flag until what transpires after meeting up. So the energy that she was giving was very distant from what me and the other Tinder girl were displaying. So didn't want to take photos, um, was very reluctant to like talking and somewhat flirting. And so that transpiring, I should immediately said, okay, something is off here, and I should probably leave. But sometimes it takes a while when you're meeting someone to open up for the very first time. So that was also transpiring me um, throughout the date. But I would have still never thought that these women are criminals and they have no intentions of doing anything besides wrongdoings from the very beginning.
Gotcha. Okay, so now you guys leave the bar and you guys go to your Airbnb or hotel, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So now you guys are having a drink, having a good time there. And the cousin is there too as well, correct?
Correct.
Now, is the cousin drinking? Like, is she starting to open up and be a bit more sociable, or is her energy still off?
No, she started drinking. We got some beers
Mhm,
before we went to the Airbnb, and that was displayed in the video.
mhm.
And there, both of them were cool, like drinking, dancing, laughing, joking, all of us having a good time. Everything seemed normal at that point.
Right. Okay. Then you did mention that you tried to the girl who you were initially supposed to meet up with, the girl you were speaking
Mhm.
to, I guess a week prior. You said that you made a move and she didn't really seem receptive. So my question to you is, like, once you made that move, why didn't you say, okay, you know what, like, I'm probably just should keep it moving and end the night right there?
Well, it was still early in the night, and we were dancing, and
Hmm.
so again, going off of prior experience, girls did the same thing, where maybe I put my hand in a certain place and it's like, okay, not right now, maybe later. So that was also transpiring in my thoughts, but it wasn't a vibe or energy like something's weird, something's off,
Hmm.
and I don't want to hang out with you anymore. So I'm like, hey, let me just continue the night and see what happens. That was the state of mind that I had.
Gotcha. Okay, so essentially, you wanted to, see if you could turn things around. I got it. Understood.
Mhm.
Understood. Okay, so now once that happens and you guys continue partying on, and now was it she who made you to drink, or was it the cousin that made you to drink?
So going back, looking at the video,
Mhm.
it was actually the cousin. So I explained this before.
Yeah.
I made my own two drinks. And
Right.
then when I was dancing with the actual date, I told the cousin to make me that third drink. And that third drink was with the scope.
Got it. Now, my question to you is, knowing um, things that have happened in the past with people that you and I have both, people that you and I both know.
Mhm.
Actually, our brother Tobias, right? This happened to him in Colombia, and I know you were partying in Ecuador with Colombianas. Once that drink was passed to you, did anything like come through your system and say, nah, I probably should not drink this? Or were you just saying, like, hey, I'm having a good time and here we go?
It was more so having a good time. I've been to Ecuador before, and my radar was not of anything related to people meeting girls in Medellin off of Tinder specifically.
Mhm.
And so I didn't feel that norm to where this is awkward. This is not a good feeling. And I have never heard of any Colombians doing this outside of Medellin, so that's what was going on when I took that third shot, unfortunately.
Gotcha, understood. So me being a Colombia guy, yes, that is true. That a lot of it does happen in Medellin, but it happens all over the country. Because it's happened in Cali, it's happened in Bogota. So it definitely has happened in more than one city in Colombia. But I understand where where you're coming from. Okay, so moving on. That happens. You wake up. How long does it take for you to realize what's going on?
So I think I woke up right before 11 a.m. I think it was like maybe 10:30, and then I noticed from the very beginning my laptop gone, my wallet gone. I go to the kitchen, like my watches, my phone is gone. And so I was at a state of shock. But immediately I went to security to, ask to see the cameras. These two girls robbed me, need help. And so that
Mhm.
was what I did immediately, once I found out, I've been drugged and robbed.
Got it. Now, now when you brought these ladies back, or like before you actually went out to the bar, did anything in your mind say, you know what, let me put like my watch away, or my valuables, my laptop you mentioned? Did anything like kind of pop in your mind and say, let me lock these up?
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. I figured these girls were cool. We were just hanging out, having a good time. I did not get the vibe that they were criminals or had these, vicious intentions at all.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay, so now you wake up, you tell security that you've been drugged and robbed. Now,
Mhm.
how are you feeling? Because I've from different people who I've spoke to and different stories that I've heard, I've heard like different things. So, like, were you able to kind of like, were you sick? Were you able to maneuver properly?
Right.
How are your motor skills? Essentially, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. So I felt fine. Everything was normal. No headache, no drowsiness.
Mhm.
Didn't need medical attention. It was, wow, I can't believe these girls actually did this.
Okay.
I need help. Call the police. Made a couple of phone calls to get home ASAP. So thank goodness I was able to do that and have my passport. They took everything but my passport. So I'm very fortunate in that regards.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've heard of a couple of brothers getting their passport actually taken, and they've had to actually go to the embassy to try to get back to the states. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So now you tell the police you come back home. And what can you tell me about that situation? Because I know that there's some legality things going on, but what can people know about what's going on? And if you can't speak to it, that's fine.
No, so I gave them a report, uh, and Quinto, they have a tourist police department. So I gave them the information, told them what happened, and they gave me a copy of the report. And I used that copy to basically make a claim with everything that they stole from my bank account, and that was very, very helpful that I did that. So after that, I followed up. I actually went back to Quinto to give a thorough statement of what happened. It was like 4 pages, and it was in English and Spanish. And then from there, the public defender told me that, hey, we're going to proceed forward with the investigation, and they gave me a case number.
Okay, got it. So since that has happened, has any traction in that case happened?
As of right now, nothing, no communication. Will they catch them? I don't know. But I can live at peace that I reacted to the situation. So it was difficult for me to just say, all right, I got drugged and robbed and I'm not going to do anything. Like, I had to react to it. So, at the very least, if she continues to do this, there is a case record. I have her real name, the Tinder profile, made a complaint to Tinder, the WhatsApp number. So it's just only a matter of time. If they continue to do this, they will be caught.
Right. Yeah, man. I tell you, that's crazy. Now, I heard a story about one woman who actually got caught, and I believe she was like drugging and robbing people in like 196 countries. She was wanted in 196 countries, and she got caught. I want to say like the other day. I didn't read the story in detail, but um, that's what happened. So it seems like what's happening is that these people are starting to get caught, and they're starting to put some task force together to catch these people. So that's good in that regard. So hopefully your specific case does have some traction soon. All right. So now looking back at it, what were some of the things that you yourself would change, and what would you advise other travelers?
Yes. So first thing, meeting a girl off a dating app. I mean, right now, uh, even if you're meeting Colombian girls outside of Colombia, you're taking a risk. There was a girl recently, I think it was on Razor Ray's channel. She was going to Brazil and Dominican Republic and stole $23,000 worth of crypto from a guy off of Bumble. So red flag number one, if you're outside of Colombia and you perhaps match with the girl on Tinder Bumble that's Colombian, you're taking a risk there. Two, which is the most important, is never bring 2 girls back to your place for the first time. Do not do that. You can't watch what the other one is doing, and they can team up on you. And that was the biggest mistake that I made. 3, definitely take their IDs, check with security, let security know they don't leave without your presence. 4, I would say check their purses. Say, hey, there's something personal here. Just for my safety, I got to make sure you don't have any weapons or any drugs or anything that can harm me. And then 5, put your possessions in a safe place. On my next video, I brought a portable safe from Amazon that I'm able to carry around and basically hook it to a structure that you can't really break into it. Now, technically, you can slash it with a pocket knife, but again, how many girls really carry a pocket knife? And, as I mentioned, you check the purse to make sure they don't have any weapons, and then I think you'll be okay. But most important, do not bring 2 girls back. Girls will think twice if it's just them, because you're able to react, you're able to see what they're doing. With 2 girls, anything can happen at any given moment. And what you saw in my situation, one drugs me, the other one I'm focused on, having a good time, and it was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, definitely. And I said excuse me, I said in my reaction, and this may not be towards you specifically, but like it seems like guys get excited when when the girl would say, "Hey, I'm gonna bring my friend or my cousin over," and the guys are thinking 2 for 1. And I did hold your feet to the fire that, and I heard your rebuttal. You said you wasn't thinking that, you was just trying to get with the with the girl who you initially met with. I will say most guys are thinking like what I said though. Would you agree?
I would say most guys that probably don't have a lot of experience with women and they're going to Colombia um, with a little sense of being naive, like, oh wow, she wants me in. Uh, she's going to bring her friend along or, acquaintance.
Hmm.
So, as I mentioned before and earlier in the live, that I've been on several dates where a girl brings their friend, and I'm not having that expectation that a threesome is going to go down. It's, hey, I want to be safe. When you approach girls, prime example, face to face, most pretty women are going to be in groups. Most pretty women are not alone. So
Right.
in this situation, I'm thinking like, okay, cool. She's hanging out with the cousin. She wants to make sure that I'm not going to harm her. And once you break down that safety barrier, it's like, okay, if you're going to go back to my place, you don't need to bring your cousin. Here's my WhatsApp number. You know where I'm staying. You're going to be safe. So there's no reason to bring her. So,
Right. So the 5 things I think that are good. One thing that I would add is why not get a place where you don't have any of your possessions at. So let's say you have an Airbnb. Why not get something on the next floor or something like that where it's just completely empty. So you know God forbid if they try to do something, there's nothing for them to get.
that is a possibility, but when you're in the moment, you're not really preparing for a situation like that to actually happen. And to me, that's just a lot of work. So if you take precaution and if you're proactive in your safety elements, when dating a girl, it's, let me see your ID. What do you have in your purse? Make sure your belongings are put away before you go out. And those are actions that any guy can do that will prevent a situation from like me happening.
Right. I mean, so for myself, before this whole scopolamine thing has become popular, um, I would always put my possessions away, whether I was in a hotel or Airbnb, just because like in my mind, I didn't want someone to, could be the Airbnb host, or it could be someone that works at that particular hotel, goes into my room and takes my stuff. So I was always of the mindset like, always make sure that you lock up your possessions, especially the passport. I mean, I'm so glad that they didn't take that, because that would have been a pain in the ass for you to get it back and then come back here. You know, and could have slowed down your travels, right? So all I'm saying is that I think that having that prevention, regardless of the scopolamine or anything like that, I think that that should just be on the table regardless. What say
Yeah,
you?
yeah, definitely. So even if you're not going on a date, you're staying, it can be a five-star hotel. There
Yeah.
are people that are immoral and you're a foreigner and you're in their country and they can potentially take something. So when you leave, whether you're going to go on a tour, out at the bar, definitely lock up your possessions at all times.
Right. Speaking of tour, now I know that you were hanging out with the tour guide. Why not earlier before you met up with those ladies?
Mhm.
And I think you might have spoke to it. So, but speak to my audience about it. Now, you went on a tour before you met up with the lady, with the girl and her cousin. You were on a tour. Why did you not say to the tour lady, like, hey, let's grab a drink. Maybe you could show me some of your friends or something like that.
Yeah, so that was definitely emotion. I had a great time with the tour guide,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about possibly bringing a girl from Guayaquil that I was with last time that I was out there to Quinto for a few days.
Mhm.
And so she was kind of doing things with the family, and the girl that gave me the tour off of showaround.com, which is great. It's a great tool. She basically didn't really have any single friends. She had a couple of friends, and she informed me later on in the weekend we can possibly hang out, and I can introduce you to one of my friends. So that was in motion of being planned out while I was out there in Quinto.
Okay. All right. So you come back. So you come back to the States. How long did it take for you to get all of your stuff back, like your um, the money for the laptop? I know you said that a couple of your accounts were hacked into. Like, how long did it take for you to get everything back?
So getting everything back from Chase pretty much took about 2 months. Um,
Wow.
yeah, because there's different claims. There's claim for fraud. There's claim digital wallet claim. Um, I, I had to make a couple of claims through PayPal, a wire transfer claim. So there was different claims and investigations going on throughout this whole entire process. And then in regards to the laptop, the watches, I had to replace all that, and I did. Laptop, thank goodness, wasn't worth a whole lot of money. The
Really?
phone, yeah, it was an older laptop, probably worth maybe $200 if that. So
Mm.
um, yeah, and I was planning to get a new laptop anyway, so
Yeah.
that worked out. Um, the phones, which I think was the most important. So I had insurance, thank goodness. And I'm gonna advise guys, hey, you probably want to do travel insurance whenever you're traveling, especially if you're a YouTuber, if you're a vlogger,
Mhm.
cameras, laptops, uh, anything that's worth over $100 that needs to be insured. So I had insurance on both my phones, and I had to make a claim, and I was able to upgrade to the 15, and then got my second phone replaced with the 13. So that was good. But it took about, if we're going to include everything, and I still have to get a new passport technically, because I have the passport book and a passport card. So I have to basically turn in the passport book to get the passport book and the card, because I cross to Mexico a lot and I never bring my book for the most part. So that is the next step I need to do, and I'm planning on doing that this month. And once I go through that process, it's probably going to be about another 3 months before I get the passport book and the card back.
So essentially, what excuse me, essentially what you're saying is that you won't be able to travel for about 3 months.
No, I can still go to Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so I'll be able to travel, no problem. But since I have to forfeit my passport book,
Oh, I see. Okay.
right, I'm only restricted to go to Mexico in the meantime.
Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So I'm gonna pause right there. I do have I want to get to the chat, but all
Okay.
please make sure
Sure.
that you do like and share this video. Also subscribe to QB Passport Flexing on all platforms. Definitely make sure that you guys check him out. He just mentioned Mexico, and he has a lot of experience traveling all throughout Mexico. So definitely make sure that you check in with him. If you're trying to do the single guy thing, family thing, whatever you're trying to do in Mexico, QB Passport Flexing is your guy. So make sure that you hit him up. All right. So let me get to the chat really, really quick. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Woody Johnson. Thank you so much for being here. Oh man. Jay Fleming, my guy. What's going on, man? Salute to you, bro. Salute, salute, salute. Yes, absolutely, man. Like this video. Like this video. The cynical one. How are you doing, sister? Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. Peace, brethren. I got hella questions. Shout out to Speak Spanish Now. What is your question, man? Let's see. Portable safe. I have a steel cable. Gonna need more than a pocket knife. What's your response to that?
Well, safety measures is better than no safety measures. So
Right.
again, I also mentioned that you want to look at their purse to make sure they don't have anything sharp. And if they do, hey, can we hold this with security? And if a
Right.
girl likes you, she's going to comply with you. So, yes, they can probably still break the portable safe, but it's another layer of protection for you that they have to overcome.
I see. Okay. Shout out to my man Tripping with Jay. Says salute, great guest at KND. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for being here. Let's see. Okay, so Mark Daniels says, when I met my girlfriend down there about 5 or 6 years ago, I think the first time I stayed in the Dan Carlton and any other hotel I stayed at, I would make sure I got a copy of her ID. Yes, copy of the ID is good, man. Got to get that copy of the ID. QB.
Yeah, copy of the ID. Maybe screenshot it, share it with others. And then you can kind of just tell her, like, hey, my friend had a bad situation. I just want to be safe. If you want a copy of my ID, here it is too. So,
Gotcha. Yep, absolutely. Shout out to my man Los holding it down, and Barranquilla. I'm sorry, not Barranquilla. Cartagena, Colombia. My bad. Calvin King says, "Damn, very sad to hear all of this. I recommend keeping most of your work on a USB drive or an external terabyte drive." Yes, that's a good point. And then as far as the passport and passport card, sorry to hear that. I think that keeping your work on an external drive or a USB is actually really, really good. That's actually something that a lot of us should do, especially if you are a content creator too.
agree.
Okay. Calvin King comes back with the super chat. He says, passport and devices can be replaced. All that matters is that you are alive and well. Yes, absolutely. 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 For real. Let me see. Okay. QB, my first question. You knew the rule about heading back to the crib with two or more Colombianas prior. Did you feel like you were above that and it did not apply to you?
So as I kind of mentioned, there's a first time for everything. I've taken girls back from meeting them in the first time
Mm-hmm.
to my place, and no girl have I ever met had malicious intent to harm me in any way. This is the first time in my 38 years of living that this has happened to me. So now that this has happened to me, I'm on alert whether they're Colombian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, American, it does not matter.
Right.
So again, for some guys, it takes an actual situation to have that sense of, okay, this can go very, very bad, bringing two girls back. So, I wasn't alert on that. Don't feel like I'm above anybody at all, um, because criminals will rob anyone no matter who they are or what status they have.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's see. Shout out to Jay Fleming. Thanks for the information, brothers, man. Thank you. Oh, so I see you got the Colombian pesos. So you outside again. Shout out to my man Jay Fleming. I'm gonna assume you gotta be in either Cali or Barranquilla. Uh, but let us know. Or maybe
I
you
think
might be in
I
Cartagena
think
too.
yeah, I think he's in Cartagena. He's
Uh
back there. Yeah,
okay. 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 All right. Razor Rays is in the building. Says, remember to watch y'all drinks.
absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. For real. That's very, very true. Okay, yeah, he says he's back in CTG. Okay, that's what's up. Um, Uncle Guns chimes in. Excuse me. It says find a hotel that allows you to use the front desk hotel safe, passport, book, cash, and spare phone to go there. Yes, absolutely. So, like, I believe that if you're traveling, you should have a spare phone. So, not the phone that you typically are just using like on your everyday life. Like, you should have like an extra phone. So, I think that's good. And then also, with the front desk asking to use their hotel safe, I think that can be a resource as well. What do you think, UB, about that?
Yes. So there's many, many proactive protection measures you can take, and it's up to you to actually follow through and do that. And so everything that was mentioned here and also by Uncle Guns, you can do if you're anywhere in the world.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna transition the conversation, and what I have noticed, QB, like in especially like with content creators and talking about travel, dating, whatever it is, I have noticed that like the evolution of trolls has risen. And I do know that when it comes to the black pill community, there seems to be a lot of trolls there. So, so two-part question. One, um, do you think that the trolls the trolls have come to the travel community? And if so, why?
I think there's trolls and everywhere in the manosphere, travel community, red pill community, black pill community.
Mhm.
Um, I think more of the black pillars is a defeatist attitude, and trolling to them is lashing out on their anger. So they can be heard whether they're leaving a comment, making a video, or recording. They can be heard. And so them attacking passport bros and guys who travel has increased. Um, and again, as I mentioned, a lot of it's, anger, jealousy, and just negative attention. So when you're seeing more guys traveling, having fun, having a good experience, they want to have the victim mindset instead of using that information to encourage them to follow along and have the same type of success.
So I'll excuse me. I'll ask this question now. Even within like content creators and travelers, it seems to be like this defeatist attitude and complaining that I'm starting to see a much higher rise of even now.
Well, it depends what guys are really complaining about. Are you complaining that American women are bad, or you're complaining that passport bros are coping? There are several different complaints, but for everybody, you can find a solution. And so you have to stay motivated and positive to actually find your solution and follow through on that path.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, well, from what I'm noticing is that like guys are just complaining about guys are complaining about what places that they should go to date women. Like it to me, it seems very sophomoric and very pessimistic, and it just seems like as you mentioned, it seems like a very defeatist and feminine attitude, to
Yeah.
be quite frank.
Yes. But in reviewing content, for the most part, I have not came across guys complaining about where to travel to date girls. It's more so, in my opinion, that guys are traveling to date women,
Mhm.
and the guys that are complaining cannot go to those places or don't have the means to go to those places.
Wow. Yeah, speaking of the means, you got some people who travel and don't have the money to travel. Like, how are you traveling but you don't have the money to travel? What's up with that?
Right.
I'm, I'm sorry, I just had to laugh. But go ahead, QB.
So guys can travel and have options, but you need to be proactive and exploring your options. Um, I do my very best if I'm going to talk about places where guys can go, like how I mentioned, my top 5 cities where guys can date Latinas. I would say, hey, these are the destinations. However, when you go out there, you want to maximize on your potential. And that's a lot of it's self improvement, learning a language, developing a social circle of friends, and you can achieve those results.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned the 5 cities to date Latinas, and
Mhm.
I believe you did a video about it, but speak to it really quickly here. What are the 5 cities and why are those the 5 cities that you've chosen?
So, Mexico City, Barranquilla, Veracruz, Guayaquil, and Guadalajara.
Okay,
So,
so let's go
mhm,
back. Okay, so Mexico City, Mexico,
right.
right? Okay, and then what was the next one?
So, Mexico City and then Barranquilla.
Oh, okay. So Barranquilla, Colombia. Okay.
Hmm. Number 3 was Veracruz.
Veracruz, that's Mexico, correct?
Correct, correct.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Guadalajara,
Guadalajara, Mexico.
and then Guayaquil, Ecuador.
Okay, Guayaquil, Ecuador. Okay, got it, got it. Okay, so
Mhm.
3 Mexico, 1 Colombia, 1 Ecuador. Got it. Okay. All right, good. And why do you choose those cities? I've been to
So
Barranquilla. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
those are those cities are based on my experience and success. So as of right now, that's what I recommend. So people liking my content, watching my channel, and it's like, okay, what are places that I can have the same effect or similar effect? Those are the previous cities that I've mentioned
Mhm.
that I've achieved results. Now, other guys can say other places, but I have, receipts and information and valid proof that I have achieved success in those places, and I can recommend guys to go there and have similar results.
Well, I can definitely speak to Barranquilla. I think that Barranquilla is an excellent place if you're looking to date. Whether you're looking for more of a Euro Latina or an Afro Latina, they have
Mhm.
them both there, and it's not a tourist city. So that's one of the things I really, really like about it. There are a few expats, but it's mainly locals. So if you're really looking to actually date a local Colombian woman, and you're not looking to get into like the whole big city craziness, Barranquilla is a great city. A lot of culture there, as I mentioned. So guys who like more of the chocolate, they're there. If you like some vanilla, they're there. So you have a good mix of both.
Yeah, for sure. And Barranquilla, uh, my experience there was great. Probably the best dating experience in Colombia, and it's very diverse, lots of options. But guys are gonna want to choose other places for different reasons. But if you're looking to date local women in Colombia, that is a place guys should go, and it's safe out there as well.
Yeah, it's definitely safe. Like if you're if you're looking to if you're looking to get into a relationship type style or something like that, that's where I would recommend. Cali's another place I would recommend. Um, if you're if you guys are looking especially like if guys, if you like more like Afro Latinas, I would recommend Santa Marta or also Quibdo, and these are in Colombia too. Now, speaking of Afro Latinas, you have mentioned a place in Mexico where there are a lot of Afro Latinas, and I forget the name of that place, but can you speak to it?
Um, it's Guerrero, so that's near Acapulco, that region, and
Okay.
there are Afro Latinos in Veracruz, but it's not a big population compared to
Okay.
Colombia. So eventually I will get to those towns. I mean, it's very rural and poor in those communities,
Right.
but for guys going to Mexico and their preferences, Afro Latinas, you're really not going to get that in Mexico at all. It's primarily fair skinned women. You do have melanated women in regards to the morenas out there, but Afro Latinas is a very, very small population in Mexico.
Okay, so what's the difference between the Afro Latinas and the Morenas?
Morena is more like indigenous Indian descent, and so they have that throughout all of Latin America,
Okay.
where it's a mixture of Spanish and indigenous blood. Um, Afro is descendants from Africa, and they
Got it.
may be mixed with Spanish blood as well as indigenous blood. So it is a two different um, ethnicity and race in regards to Moreno and Afro Latinos.
Okay. Yeah. And, thank you for the clarification. All right. So we've hit the 1 hour mark, and so I'm so glad that you are back home safe and you're good. You're back doing content. How long did it take for you to, I guess, fully like recover from this situation? I know you said you didn't have a hangover, you weren't sick. Um, Took you about 2 months to get everything back. Where was it where you said, okay, like I'm fully back to QB and I'm good to go? How long did that take?
Yeah.
Mentally, spiritually, physically, financially.
Okay. So I would say about a month. I mean,
Okay.
when the situation happened, a lot of people obviously wanted me to go on their platforms, and it's like, hold on, man, I'm dealing with something that is a life tragic situation that I don't wish this on my worst enemies. Okay.
Hmm.
This is very similar to a girl getting raped. All right, losing thousands of dollars in your possessions, and this was done unwillfully, is bad. And so you want to react and try to get your things back and work with the police. So content, it wasn't important or the most important thing. And I was telling a lot of people, look, just give me time, like I'm focused on this. So once that process was over, I was with my main chick for 10 days out there in Cancun. So I wanted to relax and spend time with her. And then coming back to the States, I'm able to get everything back, laptop, computer. So I was in full mode to returning to YouTube and social media. So overall, it took about 30 days for me. And here I am, full steam ahead.
All right, all right. Let me go to some last minute comments before we close out. My man Sir Yeetus is in the building. What's going on, man? What's going on? I'm headed to the Philippines next year. South America is next. Hey, man, let me know. Let me know. Whenever you're going to Colombia, holla at me, man. Peace to QB. I just got here. I will rewind from the beginning. Oh, yeah. I can't believe you got scoped. Me neither, man. Me neither. Shout out to my man M3 Knowledge and Relationships. Definitely make sure that you check out his channel. We'll be doing a collab soon. Shout out to you, M3. I see you in the building. Subscribe to all Passport Bros. Okay, let's see what Khalil says. You dudes is getting the bottom of the barrel women in Colombia because the women with means in Colombia's their families won't allow them to date a foreigner. That's not true. That's not true at all. What I will say is that, like, at first you do get scrutiny because you are a foreigner, but once you show that your intentions are pure, you'll be able to date a foreign woman. You know, so it's just like with anything, man. Like the father's looking out for his daughter, and he wants to know, do you have the great, the best intentions? Um, Normally you be trolling, but this was actually a good statement, so that's why I left it up here, Khalil. Sometimes you be bugging, bro, but good that this was a good statement. What do you have to say about this one, QB?
I would say he is right to a certain extent. There are a lot of guys that are going to Colombia and getting the bottom of the barrel women, and it's because they're very attractive. There are women that they cannot get in the States, and so you have to be very careful. And those are women that you do not want to date, whether it's a sugar daddy type situation or you're trying to make that into your wholesome girlfriend. Now, there are wholesome women in Colombia, but you might have to go to places where there's not a lot of tourists to find them.
Right. Yeah. So from that aspect, like for okay, so I was speaking of it like if a guy was looking to get into like a serious relationship, and I think the way you and Khalil came about it is if a guy was like trying to casually date, right? And so I was looking at it like if a guy is serious. But
Mhm.
yes, there are guys who will focus on getting the bottom of the barrel of women because it's like they they so focus on trying to get it in really quickly. And I get it. So I understand it from that standpoint. Speak Spanish now says, oh, well, where is this?
Mestiza. I think he's referring to like the races in Latin America. So mestiza
Oh, okay.
is basically the Spanish white. I mean, it stands for mixture, and technically, all Latin people are mixed breeds, but
Yeah.
mestiza is more the lighter, version, fair skin type women.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Taino Indians are the indigenous people of Mexico.
He's right about that. Absolutely.
All right. This QB. Oh, nah. Come on, man.
No, 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 no. Go ahead, read it. I can respond to that.
You read it. I don't be reading
Yeah.
that troll stuff.
So, first of all, I wasn't using cocaine. I don't do that stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're getting that perception. And I was in Ecuador, so doing those type of drugs in a foreign country, I don't recommend it nor promote it, and so neither should you. Um, and we'll just leave it at that.
All right. Let's see. Time travel says I'm going to Thailand soon. Yeah, man. Salute, salute. Where in Thailand are you going to? And yeah, where in Thailand are you going to, man? Let's see. You know damn well them Colombian families with monies pick the husbands for their daughters. They not picking no passport bros. Well, here's the thing, right? So and I'll respond first. So like with this whole passport, bro, it just seems like everyone who travels, especially if you melanin, is looped into this thing. So what I have been talking about fairly recently, QB and Khalil, is that there's different tiers. So if you're talking about like lower level, like what I mean by lower level, like guys that are just like having fun, not trying to do anything serious, then yeah, of course not, because these guys are having fun, moving around and doing what they do. But if you're talking about guys who are looking to become expats and get properties there and stuff like that, that's a different story. So I think that statement is a bit of a blanketed statement, but there has to be some context to it, and that's why I added that context to it. What do you say about that, QB?
I'm going to say that he is right again as well, but it's a lot of these women are not wanting a provider or an American husband. Okay, so I did a response recently to King LJ Productions, a live, I think that was 2 weeks ago, where he was engaged to a Colombian girl in Cartagena, and that was part of his channel, was showcasing his time with her, and things didn't work out. So, and he's again guy that makes over six figures in decent shape, can be a provider. And why are you not wanting to marry this dude? So it goes back to the women, the culture, and also there's a lot of single moms in Colombia as well. So I would disagree on the aspect that the family's not picking them. It's more the woman choosing not to be in a long-term serious relationship with that foreigner or marriage.
Yeah, so okay, like the guy's the provider, and he's, you say he's in decent shape or whatever the case is. I think that there's more to it, but like I think that that's a like that would be a topic for another day. But yeah, we could definitely take a deep dive into that conversation. Like for another live stream. Let me get to the super chat. Miss Polly says a great conversation. Keep helping others be safe. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate it. My man Mark with the $10 super sticker. I appreciate that. All right, let's see where we're at. Didn't take long to get back on the troll time. Right, exactly. Didn't take him too long, man. You know how Khalil do. It's probably the scope, QB. My apologies. Anyway, is Thailand better than the Philippines? So it depends on like what you're going for. So like if you're looking for of a more calmer environment, then I would say go to the Philippines. If you're looking for more up tempo, then I would say go to Thailand. If you're looking for a combination of both, go to the Philippines first and then go to Thailand. Yes, Thailand's hands down. Well, you got your answer. Let me see. Your friend Dreams told dudes to have girlfriend. Huh? No, I didn't. To have dreams with. Was he? I
Dang,
never said
man.
that.
Wow.
He said your
Oh,
friend
it,
Dreams
it,
told young dudes to have girlfriend
it,
experiences with
it,
with,
it,
with pros and club. What are you talking about? I never said that. Oh
well,
boy. Yeah, you know what? Okay, you about to get put on timeout, bro.
damn.
Information that may save a life. Okay, got it.
Well, one thing I will say, going back to Khalil's comment, for some guys, they may not want to get married again and they want a younger woman. They don't want to settle with the girl that's 30 plus. So if you're going to do that, maybe not do it with an actual professional girl. Seeking arrangements may be a better alternative. And if you want information on that, what Skylar, one master teacher, he promotes that. So that's another avenue of resource that guys can pursue if they want something in that realm.
Gotcha. Shout out to Infinite Growth TV. Definitely make sure that you check out the channel. I'll actually be interviewed by him tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you check out his channel. He says that guy. Yeah, right. Khalil's crazy. Oh, your friend the Flyboy Way said that, Dreams. Do you support that? No. But what I will say is what I do support is what QB said. So like if guys have been in a long-term marriage, long-term relationship, and they're not looking for anything long-term, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I don't promote it, so I will say that as long as you're being safe and doing things responsibly, then that's cool. I'm of the mindset that like you know finding a genuine connection is where it's at. You got any feedback on that, QB? Or no?
Yeah,
You good?
yeah, finding a genuine connection. But I think a lot of guys, and this is where a lot of Colombian guys that love that place disagree with me. They go there with unrealistic expectations. So all the girls that you're seeing these dudes with, for the most part, they're not getting those type of girls in the States. The IG models and just the really, really attractive looking girls with plastic surgery. The problem is they're trying to make those girls into a girlfriend, a wife, and the genuine desire is not there. And the black pill side of me is you cannot force genuine desire, physical attraction. That's not a choice. So if you know this and you're still persistent on trying to date those women, your relationship will most likely end in a failure.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. If the genuine attraction isn't there on both sides, it's not gonna work. I don't support traveling pros. All these
You're
dudes,
good. You're good. Come on through. Yeah. Yeah.
all these dudes
Yeah.
normalizing it
All right.
while traveling for women. If you're just for a few days, yeah. I mean, listen, I all I say is this: guys can travel for whatever it is that they want, as long as they are healthy and safe, and not trying to necessarily put all of their business out there. And I think that's one of the big problems that I personally have is when people just put their business out there, and there's certain things that don't need to be shown on camera. Shout out to the Flyboy Way, THEFLYBOY That's what's up, man. What's going on, my guy? Happy Sunday.
Shout
All
out
right,
to him as
so
well. When he gets back from Medellin, I definitely want to interview him on the channel, um, because he's one of those guys, despite what's going on, is able to have a good time, be safe, and move correctly. So I
well,
want to have guys have that similar experience. So that's going to be epic. Hmm.
yeah, man, that's gonna be a good interview. That's gonna be a good interview. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'll actually be out there. So that'll
Oh,
be
nice. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But thank you so much, QB, for this interview. Really appreciate your time. And what are your final thoughts, man? What do you want the people to know?
So definitely some of the channel QB Passport Flex, then on Instagram QB Willie B. And if you guys want any information on traveling to the places that I've been, Mexico, outside of Mexico, Peru, Ecuador, all that information is there. Also, I do streams and vlogs throughout my channel. I will have a vlog coming soon regarding passports bro safety. So be on the lookout for that. And then, yeah, I got a couple of trips coming up throughout Mexico. And yeah, definitely like the video, like the stream, and I'll get at you guys at another time.
Man, thank you so much for being here. It's an unfortunate situation that happened to you, but I'm glad that you are back. You're safe. You're up and running. So continue doing what you do, bro. Salute.
One.
All right, guys, I'm out of here, but definitely make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my guest, QB Passport Flexing. Also, make sure that you do subscribe to my channel, Kings and Dreams. And I will be back later on tonight with the General Tailor Made Dreams, and I believe that is at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely be in tune for that, where he's going to be interviewing me on a new series that he's talking about is Passport Manifestation. So can't wait for that one. Definitely stay purposeful, and I'm out. Peace.